Hello and thank you for coming to the McWaters Effect. I'm your host, Matt, and today I'm looking at the National File. But first, I need you to hit like and subscribe, helps the channel grow. Now let's take a look at this news article. Now guys, before I start reading, there's certain words I can't use because the YouTube overlords would strike me down. So please bear with me. Democrat reporter makes a case that Mitch McConnell stole 2020 victory with corrupt voting machines. This comes as Democrat officials and mainstream media outlets continue to tout the security of the 2020 selection. Liberal reporter Allison Green makes the case that Senator Mitch McConnell and other Republicans stole their 2020 victories with corrupt voting machines as Democrats continue to push back against the efforts for a forensic audit in the 2020 selection. In a Twitter post, Liberal reporter Allison Green criticizes Senator Mitch McConnell's surprising 2020 selection victory, citing allegedly corrupt voting machines just 2 days before both parties in Congress certified the most secured selection in U.S. history, ushering the Joe Biden presidency on January 6. As selection experts point out the suspicious discrepancies which arose from the use of dumb onion voting systems, machines in states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Georgia, which Green vehemently disputes. Her report points to the use of selection system software, ESNS, machines in states like Kentucky, South Carolina, Maine, Texas, Iowa, and Florida. McConnell had his biggest percentage of registered Democrats voting Republican in counties using ESNS machines. But he wasn't the only senator to perform so well. Other Republican incumbents, whom polls indicated would have close races, had similar luck to their majority leader on Election Day. Lindsey Graham's race in South Carolina was so tight that he was famously begging for money. Yet he won with a comfortable 10% lead, tabulated on ESNS machines throughout the state. In Susan Collins, Maine, where she never had a lead in a poll after July 2nd, almost every ballet was fed through ENS machines. Kentucky, South Carolina, Maine, Texas, Iowa, and Florida are all the states that use ESNS machines. Maybe the polls didn't actually get it wrong, despite pointing out the obvious discrepancies arising from the use of electronic voting machines. Green still believes that the Republicans spout out unfounded claims that Democrats stole the selection. However, Green points out that when Trump calls this the most fundamental selection in our history, maybe he knows of what he's speaking, meaning the Republicans actually stole the selection, not Democrats. When Trump says, "Look over here at dumb onion voting machines, maybe we should look at ESNS machines instead," wrote Green, who ought to know that the majority of Republicans would surely welcome the forensic audit in the 2020 selection in their state, as they believe the selection was wildly fundamental. While Green clearly targets Republican victories in her bias pieces, in which she refers to President Donald Trump as pussy grabber Donald Trump, the biggest takeaway would be underlying concerns regarding selection security in the U.S., which currently remains in the forefront of the American First discussion. Unfortunately for Green, it appears that a majority of her fellow Democrat voters overwhelmingly rejects a full examination of the 2020 selection as seen in Arizona. The results showed that 90% of the surveyed Democrats opposed the audit, and 78% of the surveyed Republicans support it. As her report makes clear that some Democrats are questioning the legitimacy of the 2020 selection results. Perhaps they could heed the advice from Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers, who described the Arizona audit in Maricopa County as the gold standard that can be used in other states where there are questions about selection integrity, adding that audits should be more mainstream and used more often as checks and balances, noting that the Founding Fathers would have supported it. And here's Wendy Rogers' tweet saying that right here. All right, that's the end of the article. You know what I find hilarious about this article? The only reason this hasn't went mainstream, because the person that's in the White House right now, that's Joe Biden. And they know if they go after these states and want to audit them, you know what's going to happen. The patriots out there are going to say, sure, we're going to audit all 50. Not just half a state, not just a county in the state, not just one state. We're going to audit all 50 states and find out the problem. I'll tell you right now what the biggest problem is. Voting machines and voting tabulators. We need to scrap that shit. A hand recount's going to have to be done. From now on, get rid of these voting machines, the tabulators, all of them out. Hand recount. It's more reliable, and it's harder for you to actually get away with shit. With those voting tabulators, we have found several different ways you can get away with stuff. And also what's happened in New Hampshire with the folds causing issues with the tabulators. And who knows, that could have happened other places. I mean, those tabulators they use in New Hampshire, they use it in 4 other states in the Northeast. So those other 4 states might have the same issue. But guys, that's all I got for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Peace.